Welcome, viewers, to episode 9 of the Catch and Pass podcast. Joining us tonight, we've got Brett. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Good. Al.
Hey.
And Dave's back.
Hey. Thanks for having me back, guys.
Got Brett in for one of our other members who couldn't be available tonight. So tonight's show, we're going to hit straight into the weekend results from the 4 games. Brett Morris retiring. Some issues at the Sharks with getting rid of players and signing players. Matt Duffy, news from the Dragons is he's leaving and they don't want him. We're going to talk about the 3 best halfbacks and why JT is the first and the best halfback ever. We're also going to talk all things Origin Game 1 and then quickly hit round 14 tips. Boys, Brett Morris, official, retired.
Yeah.
Sad.
287 odd games. 3 clubs.
Odd games or exact games, is that?
Give up
80 odd games.
Okay.
What did he finish on the all-time try list? He would have had to be. He was top 3 or
he was
top
4th.
5? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
NRL 360 is to believe. I think last night they said he was 4th.
176 tries from 270 odd games.
Right.
Striker. I mean, he spent plenty of time at a struggling Dragons team and pretty shithouse Bulldogs team too. So
you certainly got to put him.
Sorry, I forget he was at the Dogs, mate, and I'm pretty sure he played a little bit of fullback.
Yeah, he killed it there too.
Yeah, he did. He was really good as a fullback. I just got the stats up. He is 4th of all time. 174 tries behind Beaver Menzies, Billy Slater, and Ken Irvine.
There we are.
Oh,
bang!
Good on you, Tully.
Just a bloke in a bar.
Just a bloke in a bar. You know, another thing on Morris, like he wasn't really like an out and out power winger like a Wendell or a semi Radradra, but he wasn't like a really small quick winger. He was, in my opinion, like a pretty overall. Like he could finish. He was pretty powerful. Like he took big carries, really good under the high ball, pretty solid. Like so, I think he, as an all round winger, he was probably one of the best.
He was good at everything.
His carries is what I remember 100%, and his finishes.
I think he's finishing. I think the image of him that stands out most for me is I think it might have been his 99th or 100th try where he's going the high ball and it was against the Sharks, was it? And the Sharks winger tries to push him out of bounds while he's in midair, and he still twists his body and gets the ball in goal. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, my favourite memory was actually international. I think it might have been in England at Old Trafford. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was just chasing down a grubber in the in-goal and never gave up, even though the in-goal was about 2 meters. And I think he got the...
As they are.
Yeah, he got the try, went over and really like...
Into the fence, didn't he? He went into the fence, didn't he? And he hurt himself bad. Yeah.
Well, he was one of the first to really bring that finish into the corner because... He was still the rule where if you touch the corner post while you were attempting, it was counted as out.
Yeah.
He was really the first to bring that aerobatical like performances just to get the ball down up in the air. Like he was one of the first to really do that, which is just standard now.
Yeah, he's unreal.
Do you guys reckon that his brother's going to retire at the end of the year, or?
Well, I saw just before. He's just a few months shy. He's maybe 3 or 4 months shy of 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like surely like he's
not as good as Brett.
No, he's not. But I mean, like still very solid. But
great career.
Josh was an awesome defensive center too. But I reckon he kept GI in check in a lot of Origin games.
He copped a few hammerings though.
You can
like
talk
Hodges
about,
tore him apart one Origin.
You can talk about wingers too, and you can talk about blokes that have played that many games and been awesome in their position, but him and his brother just never in trouble. There was never any controversy off the field. It was just so yeah. That's our tribute to Brett Morris anyway. But boys, so the Sharks, Dugan, Woods, and SJ shown the door. Where do they go, or what's going on there? SJ talk of Did I see Broncos?
See,
Yeah,
everyone's linked to the Broncos.
Everyone's linked to the Broncos. I reckon the Knights should try and grab him.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Jay.
think it'd be great. Yeah, if Pierce stays and Ponga stays, I think he'll add a lot to their.
Oh, because there's
They
that
just
talk of
signed
Pierce
Clifford.
going to the Sharks. There's those rumors that aren't going away of Pierce going to the Sharks. So could they do a swap and then
Apparently, the O'Brien, the Knights coach, called the new Sharks coach,
Craig Fitzgibbon.
Craig Fitzgibbon called him because he was unhappy about the rumors, and he said, "No, I'm not chasing him at all. Like it's complete bullshit." So it's been ruled out that Pierce is going there. So that surprised me.
Was that from Fitzgibbon to Buzz to all of us?
Yeah, well, that's again. I think it was Kent or Hooper, but those guys do have decent mail sometimes with that stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, but it would surprise me to trade out Pierce to someone the same age who's probably not as good.
Pierce has to come back into the Origin arena. I know that much.
As a Queenslander, yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Would any of you guys and you too, Brad? Would you guys take any of those three at your club? Like I know Broncos question, but would you take them at Cowboys, Brad, as well, or any of those three?
Well, our centre stocks.
You don't have enough halves at Cowboys.
Yeah, we don't have enough. So we got. I put Woods at 5'8". No, so I mean, Dugan, no. Like just because we've signed Peter Hiku, and we're pretty set in the centres and on the wings, and he's not going to play wing anyway. SJ, we don't have any requirement whatsoever, and he's not going to play Blackhawks down the back oval. So no, I don't think so. I don't think Dugan and Woods. I think Dugan is the least likely to get an NRL contract. I think Woods is most likely to get a club for maybe a year or two. And SJ, who signs him? Like he'd go well at a few clubs. He would go well at a few clubs, but who needs him?
Mate, Canberra. They reckon he might go to. They reckon he might go to Canberra.
Yeah, George Williams is gone.
So just on that with Canberra, and those three from the Sharks being told they can leave is Dufty. So I saw Dufty in recent weeks has said, or the Dragons have at least said that they don't want him, and they're sticking to it. It's like, did you see his game the other night?
Supposedly it's more than that, man. He's a bit of a cockhead. He's got a bit of an attitude problem. He's very hard to coach, and and Hook has just turned around and said, he can have these 5 try assists every round, but he's not in our plans. We don't want him. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a consistent theme. It was Mary last year said the same thing. Like they wouldn't re-sign him. There was issues. He wasn't picking him. So there's definitely something going on for 2 coaches now in a row at the Dragons to not want him.
So it's a Dufty thing. We can agree. It's not a club
You'd think
thing?
so, yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, he has learned to pass. He has really improved his game. Like a couple of years ago, he was just a quick bloke. But a mate of mine described him quite well today. He's basically ordering Ryan Pappenhausen off of Wish.com. Like he's just him, just a shittier version. Like he's decent passing, but he's just lightning with a good support game.
But bad teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you take him at the Broncos, Stocksy, bro?
Well, I think they've already made him an offer, haven't they? After we missed out on Hines.
Yeah, look, I'd take him for unders, as in if he's going to come for 300 to 400 grand, and there's a bit of competition, but
on a 1 to 2 year deal, because you got a lot of guys, because the new TV rights deal will be coming in at the end of 2022, end of next year, I believe. So that's why there's so many gun players off the end of contract. You've got guys like available as of end of next year, Ponga, Grant.
So we're going to look at a salary cap expansion, you reckon?
Possible. Well, they took a pay cut with COVID, so
fair enough.
Be looking to be boosted back up.
They had also linked. I saw talk today or yesterday that Dufty might go to the Raiders because of because of reasons, I guess. But Nickel Klokstad, really?
They reckon that he could move to the centres. He's a bit of a throbber, Nickel Klokstad. He's a good player.
He is.
But I don't know. Dufty might give you points, but fuck, he's pretty ordinary in defence. And if he's got an attitude problem, but their coach is Ricky Stewart, and I don't reckon I don't know.
Well, Klokstad's the opposite. I mean, he's pretty average in attack, solid defensively.
So if Dufty goes to the Raiders, he's on the roof drinking cruises.
Yeah,
very possible.
I don't know. That wasn't under Sticky.
Who was that? Was that Ferner? Who was their
Could've
coach
been.
back then?
I can't remember.
Anyway.
Who was their last game?
So yeah, Dufty.
I
Huge, I think.
reckon his attitude issues. You might find that might not be such a big issue at his next club because right now, he's one of the best players at his team, and they don't want him. And so, if there's any message that he needs to have sink in, it's I've got to sort my shit out, and otherwise I could be out of a job.
Yeah,
Good thing for him.
But you know what? You can coach attitude surely out of someone. Like he's got a bit of X factor that you can't coach, like a little bit. Like he's pretty good. Yeah, he's got speed and he's starting to develop a passing game. If you can just get rid of the supposed attitude problems, I think he'd be a good pickup for a few clubs.
I think he would be good at the Broncos, and all he's got to do is have fucking TPJ go and have a word with him and say, "Fucking have a look at me, mate. I fucking almost lost everything.
Yeah.
And I've had to pull my head in.
And have Payne Haas witness.
Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah, he'll fit in. If he goes to Broncos, he's not going to be the only one with a shitty attitude. So
Dufty, Broncos, Raiders, just onto the Raiders as well. The news about I forgot this. Curtis Scott. No, was it no fault?
Oh yeah.
Apparently throwing hands in a bar, like he's just.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
Well, apparently they've seen the video. He freaking clocked him in the bloody snot box.
Yeah, I love the all the footage of all these things happening, like all these altercations and players and stuff, and just general public and the CCTV is like we've got such clear pictures of like through history of like the 40s and 30s, but we can't get clear CCTV of bar fights.
Yeah.
Like it could have been anyone throwing hands. Like no doubt it was Curtis Scott because he's got some rat bag in him, but so he stood down. And the Raiders have got some like big outs at the moment. Hey,
they've got to sack him. I mean, they signed him on. I mean, but you've got to look at it. They brought him in from Melbourne under an issue off field. Melbourne don't let go of good players.
Homebush, but he got tasered and
he did that after. After that, there was a different issue.
Yeah,
that was what he did in Canberra.
Yeah, true. The Taser
he's not
one,
that good a player.
The Taser one, I don't. He wasn't at fault there.
No, that's different. Yeah, different, but. Good center. I think he's a good center. He's not phenomenal. He's not top 10 in centers in the comp, but he's
horrid
good
defensively. That's what I'm saying. Is that Melbourne do not let go of good players.
Yeah, he's another player that was awesome at Melbourne.
Justin O'Neill, Will Chambers.
Oh yeah, I do think it pushes the rumor that he could be on the outer and Nickel Klotsak could move to centers and Dufty could go to fullback. And
to
be honest, they all fit there. They all fit.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a huge loss.
Milford was also linked to Canberra, and they shut it down immediately.
Mate,
I don't think he'd be welcome back in town.
Mate, if you take him back, you might as well take Dugan back. He's off contract.
And Todd Carney.
Well, I mean, Milford did him a favour. He turned down $1 million a year to stay there, to take a $1 million with Brisbane, and that didn't work out well. As a Raiders fan, to be stoked with that for what he's performed.
So still on the Broncos, Milford's gone for surgery, and they said 4 or 5 weeks for a knee injury. Is that his last game this year for the Broncos? Do you think?
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's possible.
Ever.
I think so.
There's this Yeah, I was going to say they got this young kid coming through this weekend, Carmichael Hunt. He's playing 6. He's he could go all right. So yeah, he might be the future of the club at 6. I don't know about Milford anymore.
Here is Hunt.
One more time, listen to it.
No.
That worked well.
Carmichael shot out of a cannon. Hunt returning the ball. I'm pretty excited for that.
Like, playing at 6, though, yeah. He's not going to be doing any kick returns.
Just Brisbane, just blowing off cobwebs from their archives. Albert Kelly, you might go. Carmichael Hunt coming back. It's awesome. I love it. All these players just.
Kevy's
11 years since his last game, man. Last game was 2009 prelim final. Which were you there with me, Brett? I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
Which one was this?
This was 09. Sims dropped the ball and
yeah, we were there. Yeah, we were there.
Oh, sorry, Alan. Sorry.
Which Sims was that? Was it?
I loved Ashton Sims as a player, but we just sat there.
I know.
I loved him, but
we had him for a bit. We had him and his brother.
Everyone had him.
Yeah. Anyway,
fuck, man, I'm gonna have nightmares about that.
Sorry,
tonight.
Alan. Sorry,
So just on those players, Dufty, Dugan, Woods, SJ, like
I think Woods is still a capable bench prop, and if you can, he even said on the radio he's not looking for massive money.
Yeah.
So if you can get him into the squad, and apparently a lot of the guys at the Sharks believe he's a great clubman, so
Yeah.
he'd be one of those guys like it's Holman who you can get for really cheap money, and he's worth it.
Tolman, yeah, Tolman or
Even, huh?
Tolman.
Tolman.
Yeah, Aiden Tolman.
Yeah.
Even if you're paying him 150, 200 grand a year, I mean, he doesn't really suit the style of game at the moment, but he's still first grade standard. And same for Johnson. I'd take him at 6 at Brisbane, 100%.
Yeah.
So Johnston and Reynolds.
I think they work well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would too. The only issue is
Organisation,
that
kicking and running.
they're both in their 30s
Mm.
and not a long-term option for the club. I'd take Woods as well on unders. He's the kind of player that I really hate, but you probably would like him at your club.
Yeah.
Like a lodge.
He gets a lot of penalties and
a Burgess or a like a Jordan McLean, that big frame. Like I was saying to Dave the other day about Woods. I won't say I dislike the guy. I dislike his style of play with the milking and the just the shit around the ruck. But like Dave said, I said, he's hard to tackle, but blokes go up on him, below on him, and they won't put him on the ground, but they've spent 5 seconds wrestling him for a surrender call. The defensive line is set, and they're just resting while Woods has the ball. But Dave said it pretty well, as he gets a quick play the ball. And I think that's true. When he does go down, he's pretty strong getting back up and quick.
Yeah, and then when he does get into those surrender type tackles, he thrashes about and loses the ball and gets penalties.
So we've agreed 45 grand a year at the Broncos and a glassy job at the Leagues Club.
Yeah. Oh,
apprentice classy.
All right. So pretty interesting. There's going to be more surely. Like in the next 6 or so weeks, we're going to see lots of players leaving clubs. But
Burgess, you mentioned Burgess. He had hip surgery. He's trying to come back to the NRL.
Is Wayne's not at South next year, is he?
No.
Have they?
There's talks of him either coming to Brisbane,
above Kevy.
But the only way Brisbane should sign him is if they literally give him a long-term deal and say you are not allowed to go to if you come back, you're not allowed to go to the new club. But then he'd just rip out half the players and take them across town to the new club.
Do you think Wayne's okay with the Broncos? Like,
if they got rid of some members of the board.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's
problems with the board.
Paul White's gone now. That was a massive issue with him.
Carl Morris was a big issue with him, I believe.
Yeah.
And the younger CEO from the Storm,
Dave
Wayne would surely walk all over him. But it's pretty interesting. So, but
apparently he's still tight with Kevy, which I thought wasn't the case.
I'd love him to replace Kevy.
I don't want him to replace Kevy, but
I think Kevy sucks.
I don't know.
Big.
I mean, look at his bench rotations. Look at his
honestly, I think
8 halves pairing in 12 weeks.
Yeah, but honestly, I think this year he's like, we've written this year off already, and he's just sort of seeing what he's got, what he wants to keep.
He's
why is he still picking Coates and?
Yeah, but he's either up here or he's down here.
That
unfortunately, you don't like seeing clubs struggle too much. But when I say that Brisbane are here and they're 15th or whatever, but the 2 best performances this year from Brisbane have been a fucking epic comeback against the Titans, and then about 70 to 75 minutes of football against Penrith. And it's like, why? Like he can get so much more out of that team, I think.
Yeah, I think this year's a write-off, mate. It's looking towards next year, and he's just kind of looking for something. And sadly, it's fucking pub football, mate. He's putting out different halves pairing each week, and once they win, he goes, "Yes, we'll stick with that." We haven't had many wins, or once there's a semi-good performance, all right, we'll stick with that. But I think next year, once we get Reynolds, make a couple more signings, it'll be a bit easier. This year is just a bit of a write-off, So I'll give him one more. I'll give him one more year, Brett. One more.
It's taken him 3 months to drop a Sarko, who people have known for whenever he first started trying to play fullback that he's not a fullback.
Where do you put him? If you have him in the team
on the wing or at left center, you can't play right center because he doesn't know how to pass left to right. that he could get. He doesn't watch the highlights. He'll literally put in a grubber or look, get scared, and just take the tackle.
Yeah.
Possibly left center, but he's a good winger.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're preparing for next year, play guys like Oates, who's contracted next year. Understand Cobbo, put Coates back in reserve grade. A guy like Ethan Bullimore, not getting minutes is ridiculous. Like, he is a potential gun, and the way that Kevy's treating him's insane. But anyway.
What do you think of? Oh, sorry. I don't want to keep talking Broncos, but we got some young guys we found out this year. Like Jordan Ricky, he started well. He's fell off. TC Rabati, I like TC Rabati. Looks good. So
he's good the other night.
Uncle Kelly, mate, we got some good guys coming through.
Okay.
Bronco.
Kobe Hetherington's
Bronco Lee.
He looked pretty good.
Mate, Kobe Hetherington, you watch his tackling technique. He's a fucking great tackler, man. His debut game, he came on.
He's
no
tough,
show,
man.
Remember?
Takes off his old boy.
Debut game, yeah, and he started just trying to smash Jared Ware-Hargraves. I was like, I like.
Did you see last week when he had to come off, and he was really pissed off that he couldn't stay out there. I love the kid already. He's played.
That's good to see.
Yeah, he's got so much ticker in him. I love it. You haven't seen that at the Broncos for a long time.
No.
All right, boys. We done?
All right, get off the Broncos, bro.
Want to talk about Penrith for a bit? Or?
Who?
Nah, fuck.
Oh, actually, while we'll mix it up and we'll go back before we get into the three best halfbacks, because that's what the viewers want. Give the viewers what they want. Let's go into the games from the weekend. So we won't touch too much on the Broncos Dragons game, but it turned into a schmozzle at the end. We can all agree, Dave.
Yeah, look, we were in it for 39 minutes. I don't want to talk about it too much. Yeah, it was good. A bit of a fucking massive brain explosion at half time, and the guys just got no resilience, couldn't fight back, and it was just curtains from there. So
that's the problem, is the resilience. And like you said, 100% in it at half time, and it was a cracker of a game, and it takes Asako fucking up right on the buzzer, and then you'd think even 15 minutes in the sheds, you can say, all right, that's no big deal, let's get back out there. But no, heads down.
Well, first set, but possibly second, Asako drops the ball and then wastes the captain's challenge. And then I think next set, Rabati gets sin-binned, and then we concede 2 tries. So
pissed me off.
So 52-24 anyway. The Dragons too strong, but really only too strong from about the 41st minute. If I'm being honest, and I watched that game, and like Dave said, up till half time, it was just like, all right, boys, let's go to the beach tomorrow. Let's just do 40 more minutes of semi hard work, and we'll see what happens. But next game was the Friday night. The Tigers were phenomenal. Like, I loved them. I think that Madge has that spine sorted out with Jacob, with Laurie. Help me out.
Dane Laurie.
Brooks.
Brooks is good, mate.
The hooker. Little. Jacob Little, 90 meter try.
Yeah.
Tell me a hooker. Tell me a hooker that's run 90 meters for a try.
Damien Cook's probably that.
Probably, but like.
Sorry,
no more Broncos. But yeah, so absolute disrespect, I thought, shown by the Penrith club as a whole for who's their Staines hasn't lost a game in the NRL, and Penrith go out there and just dish that absolute crap up. I thought it was Do
you know what I loved?
Very disappointing.
Do you know what I fucking loved? There was a try there where I think it was Adam Dewey. Dewey grabbed Crichton and
pulled him into the
and rubbed his head. Yeah,
did the same thing as they did to the Raiders.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
To Crichton's credit, he copped it on the chin. He
did actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good though, man.
I don't know. I don't like the head rub. Honestly, if someone does that to me, they're going to be eating their teeth.
I think I liked most about that result was it the day before or maybe the Wednesday sports bet paid out Penrith being premiers?
Yeah.
And they dished that shot up. So yeah, I've written Penrith off. I've got them finishing just below
second last.
Just below the Bulldogs. So but yeah, if our other members listening, mate, like I'll be holding off on those after paying the grand final tickets. Boys, Saturday 20-14, the Storm Titans. That was I reckon, game of the round.
Yeah, that was a good game.
It was awesome. Titans right in it up until the end, and then the centre just couldn't find the wing for the.
Was that Phillips Army? Or?
He had a few
It was
shockers.
Phillips Army.
where
Yeah, he's
Is
prone
that
to it.
no look pass or something?
There's a few times where he just didn't pass. You're like,
yeah.
It's just execution was shit, mate. Like,
Man,
I mean,
oh, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it's tough. Like he pulls that pass off, and it's one of the best wins of the season for Titans, or gets them with
Golden
a chance
point.
of winning.
Yeah,
golden point. Sorry, but
if they
like
it.
fuck, that just proves like and that Phillips Army played Origin. I know, like he's got that on his resume forever, but that just proves like a
So is
clutch
Branko and
player.
Edric Lee.
Yeah, exactly right. But it just proves like a clutch player to not a clutch player. Like when it counts, you have that ball in someone's hands, like a Latrell Mitchell or a Tommy Turbo, or like a good player. They're not fucking up, mate. They're hitting it on the tit. So
man, and I think Storm's fundamentals kept it going in that. They just don't fuck up the small shit like that. Like that Storm wouldn't have fucked that up. That would have been
no.
Their defensive structure stays the same, but if you look at going back to the Penrith game, like May was horrendous defensively. If you look at one of the tries, I think it was the first try, I thought that has to be an obstruction. That's how they cannot score that easily against Penrith. But it was just those backup players, and they were rubbish.
I heard a stat on May because a lot of people are ripping into him. Do you know he made 44 tackles and 0 misses?
In the last, are you talking about last week?
Yeah.
So
Penrith versus Tigers.
Well, when you're that far out of position and you don't touch the bloke, that doesn't count as a missed tackle.
Still made 44 tackles as a halfback.
I'm just saying, he's a halfback he made 44 tackles and 0 misses. So what I'm saying is, like, you're so correct because his defensive reads were quite bad. But if you statistically go like, no halfback makes 44 tackles in a season, and he made 44 in a game and 0 misses.
I might need to rewatch that. We might see a lot of the Hindmarsh flop in that game.
Yeah,
was
so 2014 Storm over Titans. Do real quick. Does Storm play in the grand final this year, Stocks?
I think so.
Brett.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, definitely.
Do Titans finish in the 8? I'm saying yes. Back end.
No.
Yes.
Yep. Dave.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they will.
Okay. Just below the Tigers at 9, at 10.
Just below Brisbane, but yeah.
I just don't have a left back rower.
Okay. Next game. 40-4 on Sunday. Eels. Way too good for the Knights in that trade of Clifford. I thought, Knights had something to prove after 2 losses. Pretty interesting. Blake Ferguson. News from our guest last week, Big Jono Lister, is he played reserve grade and sucked. Walking back in defence, head down, and offside the entire match with his bottom lip down. So I heard today that he may have played his last game for the Eels.
Well, they've already told him he won't be there next year.
For Blake Ferguson?
Dunster?
Hayes Dunster? Hayes Dunster or something, yeah.
Oh.
Yep. But
Johnny Lister's requested a shout out via our Facebook page too. So
has he? Well, Jono, if you're listening, mate.
We don't do shout outs.
Yeah, if you're listening.
Yeah. We
don't do shout outs.
Hey, I haven't met you, Johnny Lister, but my wife said, "Who's Johnny Lister?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. He's filling in." And I said, "I don't know who he is." And she said, "Oh, is his middle name Kidmo?" And I was like, "What? Kidmo Lister?" Oh, I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." So,
oh dear.
That's all right.
There's your shout out, Johnny.
Old Kidmo, new nickname for you.
Can't wait to meet you, Kidmo.
might have to edit that out.
To bleep that to get on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. So, boys, that was the round. It was pretty boring for me all weekend. I had one game each day to look forward to instead of the Super Saturday and the other games. But
one thing I didn't understand is the people complaining about the Origin affecting the round like it's a new thing. It's like, oh, it's ruined the Penrith streak. Welcome to all other successful clubs during Origin.
Fucking Broncos and Storm have been the most affected by that over the last 20 to 30 years.
The Roosters.
Yeah.
It's,
No, it's a thing. It's they.
Is that our other member voicing those concerns about
the other bloke on the panel here? He said a few sorts of things. Mate, Broncos. Yeah.
I think he was seen burning a shirt that had Sanyo written across the
front. Had a sign at the front of the NRL headquarters in Sydney saying "Bring back November Origins."
I saw him tearfully ripping up a Jared Samet poster or something.
This is the other member, yeah.
Who?
The other guy.
Yeah, not Kidmo.
Oh, have we had him anyway? So yeah, pretty round that was 4 games. So we'll move into best halfbacks 3. Welcome back to the show, Dave. Let's hear him. Why?
All right, cool. I'll try to do it in 3, 2, 1. My number 3, honestly, it's Alfie Langer. And it was just mainly he's the guy who I watched play heaps growing up. And my biggest impression, my favorite thing about him was he played above his weight. To be honest, it was hard to split him and Jeff Tuvey. And it's just a bit of a bias, obviously being a Bronx fan, but just a real little halfback that used to play above his weight. Used to have, I don't know if you guys remember, he was pretty good at the old trip tackle. Used to be able to
jersey and a leg.
Yeah, but he had such a good short kicking game too. Guys don't remember that. I still watch old Bronx games, and his short kicking game was incredible. And played about. So he's my number 3. Number 2, Andrew Johns. Don't know if you heard him. He was pretty good. So I think he was an all-round halfback that could really defend too. Like we talking about halfbacks and all notable defenders, but when it comes to him and his defense and his kicking game, he was pretty good. But he doesn't he just doesn't get my number 1, which is Jonathan Thurston. I don't remember a player that I've just loved all when it comes to just being able to lift his team. Such a good passing game, such an unbelievably good kicking game, and don't forget one of the best show and goes in the history of rugby league. He had his issues defensively, but when it comes to ticker and attitude and defense, I think he was right up there. So that's my 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
There it is.
Good one. Yeah, good one.
Brett, let's hear him.
Right.
We've got a big Origin special to head into, so we won't crank him out over 20 or 30 minutes. But yeah,
I'll fly through it. I had Thurston in the 6th, thinking that I wasn't going to be here for the 7, so that's put me behind it a little bit. But 3, I was going to go Kamali or Stewart, but I went with Cooper Cronk, someone with, I believe, limited ability to have an all-time great career. I mean, he started as a center. Some of the weird shit he'd say, like every sinew in my body was behind the field goal.
From God's country too, yeah, Cronk. Hippie, or was he Logan?
Logan
boy.
Yeah, God's country. Yep.
Got out without being stabbed.
To our Logan listeners.
Yeah. Him at 3.
You've stolen an iPod.
Langer at 2, just for the attacking brilliance. Grew up as a kid. He was a halfback for Brisbane. In the current style of game, he'd be $1 million player.
He played for your junior club, didn't he?
Jets, North Tigers.
North. He was a North player, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah. And my primary school was Alan Langer Oval.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he would dominate today's game just with eyes up footy.
He's going to get a beer, boys.
Yep, he's my number 2, and tough to say, but
is he getting a beer from Gagai?
Is he pissing?
He's
trying looking around like he's doing something wrong.
Munster's got one lined up for him.
Yeah, he's just grabbed it out of Ben Hunt's fucking pants.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
How's that one taste?
That's good.
Salty.
Jeez. Yeah, a bit salty. Yeah.
What are you drinking? Stone and Wood, my man.
Stone and Wood, babe.
Big shout out to Hugh at Stone and Wood in Brisbane.
What a sponsor.
Yeah, let's trot, baby.
And one, Joey Johns. I think the best halfback of all time. Arguably the best player. Defense would put shots on. Running game, playing like long cutouts. He just had it all. There's no real weak spots in his game. The fact that he could play hooker at Origin level, and the dominance of the 05 series was Wally Lewis level. So him at 1 because he's done it at all levels.
And did love walking into Jamie Goddard's hand. Cool. You're 3. I'll go next because Stocksy, I fear you may have got Alfie on yours as well, but I've got him for different reasons. But I've got Alfie. I'll do it differently. I'll go Alfie as my number 3. Just small, tiny. I grew up in Townsville, and everyone used to mimic what he did: run, tackle, grab the shirt, use the leg to trip. Just awesome kicking game. And I'll never forget his Origin callback from the UK and the try over his head. I just jizz. I'll edit that out too. Cronk for game organisation and tenacity and resilience. Like, he wasn't, as Brett said, the most talented guy getting around, or flashy, but just game organisation and running off the best hooker to ever play the game. Cronk for me was awesome. And the 2018 grand final for East, awesome. Yep. Just strong, just tough, just delivered in Origin, delivered for Australia, delivered for any club. And
cool under pressure, ice in his veins.
He was so good in that 2018 grand final because didn't he? Remember he had a broken scapula or something?
Collarbone or scapula.
Was that 18 or 19?
18.
It was 18.
It was 18.
And then he shouldn't have played, but he did, so that they would have to focus on him. And then Kiri just ran riot.
Yep. Was awesome. And number 1, I've got the great man Andrew Johns. Loved him as a player, loved him as a commentator. Just unreal. Man, like the 05 series. Yep, unreal. So yeah, Joey.
Nice.
Al, what do you got?
3 for me. Ricky Stewart. I think he doesn't get the raps he deserves as a player. He really led that fucking awesome Raiders side around for the better part of a decade. And yeah, he did it at all levels. It was very competitive to get into Origin and the Australian team at that time, but he did both. He's also a dual international, played for the Wallabies before going to the Raiders. But yeah, so Sticky for number 3. Number 2.
But also Sticky played for who for 20 games?
He played Doggies.
The Doggies.
Yeah, I never knew that till you put it in the chat a few months back. So yeah, 20 games to Dogs.
Yeah, because did
he play in England as well?
Yeah, he would have. I'm fairly sure. But yeah, I think his best work was done in my current town for the Queanbeyan Whites back in the 80s. So good one, Sticky. Number 2 for me, I've gone. It looks like a popular pattern here. Gone with Alfie. When I first got into rugby league, because I was from Melbourne originally and we didn't know what the fuck rugby league was until I moved north. He was my favourite player because he had the same name as me. And so I remember watching him in the 92 grand final, which he was the Clive Churchill medalist, and he's just running rings around St George. 93, singing St George Can't Play. And like you said, Dave, his short kicking game, you just wait for him to do that chip and chase when he's taken on the line, and he would just nail it just about every time. And playing well above his weight. And yeah, so Alfie for me. And controversy time, Joey does not feature in my top 3. JT is number 1. I don't need to say any more than what you guys already have. He's just a legend. He's gonna, in my opinion, it's just gonna go down as the greatest of all time.
I had him as my 5'8" just because of his probably I know. No, I get you. No,
So
good picks.
if we're looking at the tally of who got picked the most out of that list, I think Alfie is there for
he's now the GOAT.
Alfie, GOAT halfbacks. You heard it here first on the Catch and Pass podcast.
It's official.
There you go.
Update his Wikipedia.
Update his Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done, Alf.
Well, Andy's, you listening? Immortalising now.
Immortal.
He will, based on his tackling style. Grab the shirt. So here we are. Do you want to do Origin chat or the tips for round 14? I reckon Origin chat.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're not going to mention the other team or acknowledge them.
What other team?
Thoughts on the Queenslanders this year? Let's hear it, Brett. Concerns first?
Concern is Capewell and Coates defending that edge. I think while Capewell was effective last year, I think his performances were overstated. He was marking Gutherson. It's not exactly the toughest job in the world. Up against Latrell and
Sorry, Johnny Lister.
It's just not. I mean, good fullback, but he's not a center.
Not a center.
Latrell it can tear anyone apart. I think it could be a struggle for him. Size-wise,
they're pretty similar, yeah.
Size-wise, but I mean, Latrell physically probably stronger, quicker, and he's just a freak athlete.
Sorry, I just got to remind myself to say this, is that I think Capewell brings better performances this year based off his club form.
Yeah, definitely. But just looking at it, Latrell has every chance of phoning it in and not really doing much. But
that's his issue.
It is a concern that
he fades out of big games.
Yeah, he could tear it apart, especially with Coates next to him, who's probably positionally wise the worst defender in the game. But I think Brimson shouldn't play. I don't see the value of him off the bench unless they plan on bringing him on at fullback or center. That Hunt should come straight into 14.
That's 100% agree.
Yeah, Hunt's been there. He's done it. He covers 6. Yeah, 6.
He doesn't miss tackles, Ben Hunt. I like him at 14. I really do.
Unless they're putting AJ in at fullback, I think he's got.
And then what?
I think he's got to. Yeah,
I think that's what they'll do. They'll move Capewell to an edge. They'll move him in one. They'll put Holmes to center, Brimson to 1. But I think it's too much chopping and changing.
You've got JT in the camp, and you've got JT in the camp, and the GOAT halfback in Alfie Langer. I reckon they're gonna. Guys, if you're listening, do the right thing.
Honestly, I think I mean, when was it announced? Yesterday or the day before that Hunt had been brought into the squad? I don't think they bring him in unless he's coming into the actual team. He's got to be playing 14. I reckon.
I saw photos of the training today, and they had him on the opposed session. So I had him wearing a vest, as in he was just defending against the actual team. So I don't think he'll play. Like the tonsillitis vest that Gagai as well.
Yeah. I just don't understand that. The only thing I don't understand more was Paul Green allowing Reid Marnie to play for Para on the weekend, and now he's potentially out for the series. And
the one guy that can play 80 minutes of football at hooker.
Yeah, and I've been very vocal in recent weeks that I thought Marnie should have been the starting hooker with Grant coming off the bench. And because Grant's minutes he hasn't played 80 minutes since what? When?
September.
I think that's not because of lack of his ability to do so. It's because Melbourne don't need him to while they've got Cheese.
Yeah, but at the same, but at the end of the day, he hasn't done it. So
I'd actually pick Mahoney as well. I think Grant's the best hooker in the game, by far. I think he's an absolute superstar. But I probably would have had him off the bench and let Mahoney start. It was just because of the carnage that he caused when he came on last year.
So just one, if God forbid, touch wood, what's his face? Grant goes down. I'm calling Hunt to hooker.
That's the issue with Brimson on the bench.
Yeah.
Hunt's a better hooker than a halfback.
And then I don't see a spot for Felt. I see Val back out to the wing, and then game 2, if he's available, Ponga back to 1. And I'm sorry, Brimson, but
yeah.
Agreed.
Just got to bow out. That's a good problem to have. But...
Okay, so you're right, 100%. It is not the ideal.
Well, it's a good problem to have for game 2. The current problem we have is not a good problem.
Yep. So concerns elsewhere on the field?
Holmes at fullback.
Yep.
I'm
Felt
worried about points.
Love's coming into the centres to defend, and points can go past Felt pretty easily.
Coates isn't much better.
Coates is worse.
Goal kicking.
Holmes has been striking them well.
He has.
What about DCE?
DCE, I think Manly needed to win that last game, but DCE's DCE. Like, he's listen to the guy talk. It makes my ears bleed. Just how sort of, I guess, pretentious he sounds when he talks. But he'll lead us around pretty well. But kicking in play, I think, will be right there. I think the big loss for us, game 1, is Josh Papali.
Yep, that's huge.
Yes.
Massive, huge.
Massive for us. I think
Huge.
our saving grace in, if we're talking defense as opposed to Papali in offense, is we got Felice Kafusi, who won't
Yeah,
miss tackles.
That's
But
right.
there's a couple of players in that squad. Cohen Hess, if he gets tired or if he gets distracted, he is an arms tackler, and New South Wales will just.
He shouldn't be playing though.
He's
I
not-
don't
he's
think
not-
he'll
Same
play.
as
He's club form,
Same-
man. Like we said this a few weeks ago. Sorry, Dave, is that he's been moved
Yeah.
to 8 by Peyton, and he's just been running like a wild man and tackling and playing big minutes.
We've got a
And-
name back
and-
on an edge this week.
Yeah, there you go.
I think New South Wales has a better bench than us too. If I'm being
Oh,
honest, I think Jack
better.
White and
Oh,
Jack White at 14 is
unbelievable.
good. They got there's a junior Paulo, Payne Haas, and a bit of a throbber
Liam
Liam Martin.
Yeah.
And he's gonna rip and tear. I'm not a big fan of. Do we have Joel Fingawi playing on our bench? Like, fuck, I didn't even think.
Man,
But I mean, Offengawi
Is
is
he
a
there?
specialist bench prop. He is genuinely a good bench prop. Like, obviously, he's not as good as Haas, Paulo.
Yeah, that's going
But-
to be the issue though. We're
Who else can
bringing
we
him
pick?
on. I don't know. Like we got, is it Fodder Wake is the other.
He's a
prop.
gun.
He'll do a job.
he's
He'll
good,
do a job.
yeah.
And I think the other bench players, Jaden Sewer, and I honestly,
Seward.
I'm really keen to
He's-
see him come on, man.
I'm actually
Yeah,
stoked with
he's-
him in the team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
actually
100.
killing it.
Just a hitter.
He's
Two
turned
bloke-
into a bit of a hitman, eh?
two
Um,
blokes that have flown under the Origin radar this year and talks of, apart from early days with punching and whatnot, the warning he got from NRL headquarters. But I'm looking forward to Tino, last name,
Fasul Malawi.
Fasil Malali.
and David Fifita just ripping in, because
Fighter, I think it
we
is.
need those blokes in the center, in the middle, just to, like, when Paulo comes on with Haas, like, I'm going to be doing these ones for a while. Like,
You've
that
got to look
bench-
with
that
Fifita
bench
as
is
well.
fire.
He's obviously at the start of the year, he's the best player in the world, worth 12 million a year. And he's going to be up against Murray, who normally defends in the middle, and Turbo. And on the left with Munster and Fifita, they could really cause some damage. Like, that's probably our best attacking point.
Freddie will just be showing them video of the Broncos Titans game, and so.
And Munster not playing hungover game one, we were a chance here, I think so.
Well, we could be fucked there.
That could be a detriment.
He only
Look
knows
at
Have
that.
a look at him.
Wally Lewis medalist last year.
Look at him.
Is he awake?
Have a look at this bloke, and you tell me that he doesn't want to fucking rip in. Look at him there. Look at him.
So-
If
Brett-
we see him upload on his Instagram tonight, him at a nightclub at 3 a.m., I'm like, all right,
mate.
load
I'm
up
happy
on
as fuck.
Queensland.
I'm
Load up.
happy as fuck.
I'm
Just-
driving
just-
it. I'm driving to Townsville.
Yeah, just leave your kicking. Just leave your kicking tee at home, Cam. Like,
Okay, so real
Yeah.
quickly, boys, go around. Where do we win it? Why? I'm going to go with Townsville, the Townsville crowd. It's going to be a little mini cauldron. They've got all these grandstands in on the northern, I think, and they're going to turn that place into a fortress. And
Yeah.
Cowboys players know that field pretty well. Val Holmes, Cohen Hess felt, not saying they're going to, moments of individual magic, but I think DCE and Munster are going to tear in and just with Harry Grant going forward of the forwards, I think we're going to win it through the middle. Our tries will come to the middle.
I agree. I really side with Brett though. I'm a little worried about that edge with Capewell and Code. So if we can stem the bleeding from anything there, my predictions are, I don't know, Queensland probably 1-12. Gagai first try scorer. He's always a good bet. He's always a good pick, and I reckon we'll just get through. I reckon it'll be closer than it's going to be. It is a dry track, but I just reckon because it is a dry track, I just think we're more susceptible to leaking points with it on that edge there. I agree with you, Brett. I think that's going to be a bit of a concern. So
Gay guy's basically Nate Miles. Like, he just performs at Origin level. I'm going to say first, I think Queensland win the series 2-1.
We lose for the last game.
I think we lose the first game. I think New South Wales win game one. I'm concerned about that edge, as I was saying before. No Pong is huge. And I think taking it to North Queensland was a bit of a mistake. Only 20,000. 20, how many in the
28,
crowd?
I think it is 28.
Yeah. I'm going to say New South Wales 1-12, but Queensland to win the series 2-1.
Cool. So win the game in Brisbane, win the game in New South Wales.
Yeah. Yep.
But the third game will be Queensland too, because COVID will fuck New South Wales.
Well,
It's-
did last year.
yeah.
anything that
yeah.
fucks Sydney, I'm all for. Shit.
Stocksy, what do you got, mate?
Yeah, no, I more so agree with you, Brad, about the Townsville crowd will be an 18th player for the Queensland team, and it is a small ground, but the atmosphere is going to be absolutely pumping. These people a lot of these people have never got to see a live Origin game, and they'll just be frothing for it. What I want to see is blokes like Fasul Malawi and Kafusi and Fafita getting some good line speed in defence and just really getting in like Latrell's face and Turbo's face. Just kind of like that tactic they did last year. I mean, against much worse centre pairing, but just rattle them early on and try and take them out of the game because that's where New South Wales will win it, is with those fucking gun centres. So yeah, I think it's very much dependent on the performance of our big men, and I just want to see them fucking really going fast, going hard, and like really fucking rattling some bones early on.
Yeah. So
Their centre picks compared to last year with Gutho and Whiten are a very worrying sign for Queensland.
Yes, big time. But yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see. I honestly think the Townsville crowd will make a huge difference, and
it needs to be Townsville 2005 first ever home final versus the Broncos 10-0. Needs to be that cauldron, that everyone comes. Fatty called us the other mob in 05 when we went to the grand final. It needs to be that sort of atmosphere, the 18th man, 100%.
yeah.
All right, Origin. Fucking, I'm nervous tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm still saying we win series 2-1, but yeah, game 3 dead rubber.
Okay. Dave, you weren't here, but Brett's gone the other way. We lose game 1, win the next 2.
Yeah, that's fucking pretty likely. I think. I just don't know about tomorrow night.
Do you think we lose tomorrow? It's making a little bit more sense to me now. Do you think we lose tomorrow night because of Papali out, that centre combination, Harry Grant not knowing what to do with Brimson, Ponga out, and then Ben Hunt? Do you think do you think our side is not establishable enough?
Yeah,
Papali being out's huge.
I think I was going to say Papali's one of the biggest outside. Papali outs.
He's back for game 2 though, yeah.
Yeah, he's named this weekend for Raiders, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is. Yep.
There you go.
Same as Crichton, who'll be back for New South Wales next game.
I'm not worried about Crichton.
No. So, but yeah, like I said, Papali out, but we've still got Fasul Malawi, Welch. Don't forget Jai Arrow as well.
That's the thing about Papali being out. It takes Arrow from the bench where he's so good.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, that's true. But,
Souths are paying him 800,000 a year to come off the bench just because he's so good at it.
But yeah, but Fodawaika.
It's true.
Well,
That's 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Fodawaika as well is one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing most. And like a lot of my opinions are also hinging on the fact that I hope to God that there's like a late change with Hunt coming into the side.
Yeah.
And Brimson falling out. But I'm not going to hold my breath, but fingers crossed.
So Origin talk done. Let's get it done tomorrow night, Townsville.
Awesome.
All right. Well, second last round 14 tips. Got shout outs. Any more shout outs?
We had a few people comment on Facebook.
My mum was one of them.
That was my cousin, Jackie Clark.
Yeah,
I'm excited
as well.
Mum, if you're listening, stop commenting on my Instagram and the podcast.
Keep it going, Kathy. We love the support, Kathy. Don't you listen to your son, all right?
She's born and bred in Marrickville, mate. Follows the Blues and the Dragons and loves Gus Gould. Do you want to say anything else?
Oh,
loves
right,
Gus.
Tune in next week, Kathy. So we had Jack Clark, who was excited to see Carmichael Hunt come back for the Broncos. Old friend of Dave and mine, and someone else who sometimes comes onto this podcast. I think he's friends with him as well. Lindsay Gilbag, Gilly. He's asked us, does the Broncos recruitment and retention manager need the boot? The Broncos talked up Nico Hines. They said they were confident of signing him only to offer him a 3-season, $1 million deal. And when you add in the losses of players like Fafita and Coates and Walsh, it seems like this guy. Hang on. It seems like that this is not a one-off, but a regular occurrence. Tend to agree.
What do you reckon, Brett?
It hurts to say, but I think one of the biggest problems at the Broncos is Lockyer. They got to get rid of him. He's
just from that role.
I mean, yeah, get him on the coaching staff if you want, but since he's joined the retention and recruitment, it's just all negatives. Like they've done nothing good.
He
you
needs
got to get rid of him.
Stay on Channel 9 with your hairpiece and just keep away from the football.
Yeah, look, make him a lifetime member at the Broncos. Obviously, give him a free snitty every Wednesday lunch, whatever. But when it comes to making those decisions on retention, I agree. I think we could find someone else that is a bit better. So to answer your question, Lindsay, yeah, I agree, mate. I think they've dropped the ball there, and I think the best thing we could do is probably have a review of that board, that retention board.
Hey, who's Lindsay follow? Club wise?
Broncos.
He's Broncos.
Yeah. I think his cousin or his brother Craig was one of my. I worked with him in the army. Craig.
Yeah, it could have been.
Devout Cowboys fan. So I'll edit this and I'll tag Craig and you guys tag Lindsay and yeah, the name rings a bell. Sorry. Shout outs. Continued. Who is it?
Oh, that was it. That's it from Facebook.
We're going to give the other member a shout out or?
Who? Johnny Lister. Yeah.
Lister.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So cool. So we've agreed. This is our regular pod cast, and then Johnny Lister first reserve. Cool.
Yeah. Although he did say go the Blues in his post, so I think maybe we might shuffle him down the order a bit.
All right, Mum, you're on. You're on.
Every chain needs a weakling.
You're on, Kathy.
Okay, so straight into the last piece of the pod for this week, round 14. I reckon we'll see some pretty big upsets here, maybe 2 or 3 of them. But we'll start with Sea Eagles versus Cowboys at Lottoland on the Friday night. I've gone Sea Eagles way too strong, regardless of origin injuries or sides. The players left over at Manly too good for the Cowboys, boys.
I think they've only got DCE in origin, and he'll back
Turbo.
Turbos.
Oh, Turbo. Yeah.
Yeah, Turbo goes all right.
They can't back him up. Like they cannot get him to play 2 days after. Like he's too important for him. You have to rest him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, and on that, let's not forget how poorly they were without Turbo. So I mean, I think Cowboys got a real good chance, Brad. I reckon that.
No doubt. It might, but it'll be close.
Not a brookie, I don't think.
That's the kicker.
That's the difference. Yeah.
I like Cowboys at $3.
Okay.
Because if Turbo plays, they'll win. But yeah, I think I'll be getting on that $3 because if Turbo's ruled out, then
we just call it 3.00. We don't.
$3.10 actually. So
stocks. Boys, next game on the Friday night, we got Sharks versus the very disappointing round 13 Panthers. Boys, who you got?
Oh, look, I honestly think it could be a bit of a spiral there. I think Sharks are in with a genuine chance. I'm not even joking. I just think Penrith, it's going to take a lot out of Luai, take a lot out of Cleary, Capewell, Liam Martin. I really think the Sharks might have a crack.
Stu runs for 230 meters though.
First half.
I forgot about him actually, but yeah, I think it'll go. I think they could have a good crack. I don't think Penrith are going. If they do win, I don't think Penrith are going to put on 13 plus. I think it'll be a bit of a grind. So
that's if they play. Like if they've all been named as reserves at the moment, but I mean, I reckon they probably should play, and if they don't, they're just weak. Back up.
I agree. Broncos have 30 years.
Exactly.
Well, they reckon that the 2-day backup was always easier than like the 4-day backup. So they always wanted the Friday game.
Exactly.
Yep.
Game, ice bath for 48 hours, game, ice bath for a week.
Remember it used to always be Broncos Storms straight after Origin on Friday nights. Like, fuck's sake. Give us a break.
Give us a Saturday game. Saturday, speaking of, Roosters, Titans. I've gone Titans. I don't know what it is, and I can't explain it, but I just reckon Titans might beat the Roosters at Seabus.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that.
But I can't explain why. Dave, tip quickly.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Honestly, I hate both of them. But if I had to pick, I'd probably say Titans 1 and 12. I think they got a bit of, I don't know, Tino and Fafita backing up. No, I'm going to go Roosters backflip. Sorry.
13 plus.
Backflipping on the Titans, not the first.
Brett, who you got?
Roosters by plenty. Titans defense is horrendous.
Yeah.
By 25.
Ooh. What's that?
Plus.
Paying 19.00?
4.00.
Okay, roger that. Al, who you got?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the Chooks as well. They've got a few big ins. And
Sam Walker back?
Yep.
And they've got an 8-man extended
And Lamb.
bench at the moment. So,
and Crichton's playing as well.
Back, yeah.
The 5:30 game, Knights, Rabbitohs. I've got Rabbitohs by plenty.
Oh,
plenty.
Easy. Knights are. Honestly, I think Knights are going to spiral now. I think they could be looking at wooden spoon. They're trash.
Yep.
They look so bad.
Yep.
They that loss they had against Para, that was their fucking annual old boys game, which is the one that they always get up for, and they got fucking pummeled. It's the 20th anniversary of their 2001 premiership against Para.
They got booed as well. The Knights by the crowd.
The best player in the ground was probably Jake Clifford, who just fucking signed with the club. He showed the most ticker.
Yeah. And so sucked in Knights. I've never liked you anyway.
Just Clifford showed why the Cowboys let him go, as all players that leave the Cowboys do. Ponga. Raiders, Broncos to finish off Saturday, 19:35 time.
Yeah.
In Canberra.
I was going to this game, but I can't now.
I'm getting around the Broncos for this one. This is one of 2 or 3 upsets of this round, if you consider this one an upset. I'm going Broncos. I hate the Raiders this year. They stink. They've just lost Curtis Scott in the centres. They have got George Williams gone.
They've dropped their other fullback, Simonson. They're moving Simonson.
Yep. They lost their that red rocket who Horsburgh to an injury. I think a fractured thumb.
Horsburgh.
And he's just
he's a best looking man.
He's a gun. You're right, Brett. He's a gun. He runs hard. He shows emotion, and he just rips in. So I'm going Broncos. 1-12, boys.
Yeah,
I
was meant to be going to this game, but I've had something come up, and so I've lost my ticket. And honestly, looking at the weather forecast, it's going to be like 4 degrees and rain, and it's been fucking cold down here this week, man. We're expecting we've got snow forecast tomorrow, so if anything's going to hurt the Bronx, it's going to be that cold weather, and it's windy too. So look out for that. But
also a shout out to you and your Arctic garage. So yeah, we appreciate your sacrifice.
It's one of the warmest places, yes, at the moment. But yeah, I am going to back the boys in this week. Just like you said, the Raiders just keep on coughing up leads every week, and they're just looking worse and worse each week. The club's a shambles at the moment. They've had so many off-field dramas in the sense of, George Williams packing up and going home. Joseph Tarpon, his wife, bloody having a crack at Sticky on social media and shit like that.
Josh Hodgson having a go at the club as well for the way Williams sticking up for his fellow countrymen.
Yeah, so we might.
He's named to start this week.
Yeah, so we might see a good game out of him because he might be auditioning for his new team.
So who are you going, Al?
Bronx 1-12.
Dave, Bronx 1-12.
Yeah, mate. Bronx, I'm on him too, and look, I think a massive in. He's been out for 4,277 days since his last Bronco game.
How many days?
Yeah, 4,277 days since Carmichael Hunt last. Matt, look, I don't even give a fuck how he plays. I'm just so glad he's back in the jersey. But to be honest, my big throb is Herbie Farnworth gets a crack at fullback. I've been on him for a while. I don't know about his ball playing. So I'll find him out. But when it comes to just effort, ball runner,
he's got some mongrel for a small fella, right? He's got like a fair bit of
He's got that frame.
He makes good meters.
He's got that
Real
big
good
frame as well, like kind of like a Tommy Turbo sort of body type.
Yeah.
So
good footwork. I think our pack's starting to come pretty good. I think Lodge has been really good the last couple of weeks. I think
it is very, very hard to talk about anything without it being Broncos for an extended period of time. So Dale, I need your tip, bro.
Yeah, sorry. Broncos 15 plus. First try
15.
scorer. 15 plus. First try scorer. Come off the hunt. 2,700 something going to Broncos 15 plus.
Cool. We'll go the next game.
I think with him dragging Carmichael back into the team, Kevy's going to strap on the boots next week and play in the halves with him. So
well, he'd probably still be a better player now than he is a coach. So
next game on the Broncos pod. This is my upset. Oh, my next upset or the last upset. I'm going the Warriors over the Storm at Central Coast.
Walsh is out.
Oh, sorry, Storm over the Warriors. 13 plus. So that was my game. That was my third upset.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for your tip, DCE.
Storm 13 plus.
What happened with Walsh, Brett? Did he get off that elbow?
Suspended for that elbow.
Decapitate someone against the Cowboys, the grub. He'll learn.
Yeah, I remember.
Should have got 8 weeks. Boys, Storm all round.
Storms.
Free spins.
Yeah, Storms, mate. Storms.
Cool. Johnny Lister's Eels versus the Tigers. Third plays 11th.
Tigers.
Oh, yeah, Tigers, mate.
Yeah.
Tigers
I don't rate the Eels. They're losing Mahoney.
Yeah,
I keep picking Wanga Blake, who's
defensively shite.
He's doing his absolute best to stop people calling Coates the worst edge defender in the game. Like, yeah, I don't think that the Eels are a threat at all this year. I think they're extremely overrated. I'm
going to say this is that they are a threat to the teams coming 4th and 8th. And they're going to win this game by 13 plus. But I agree with some of your points, Brett.
You're just a Dewey hater.
Eels too strong. I love Dewey, mate. Love him. He was in some top 50 5/8s. Boys, Eels, Tigers.
Yeah, I'm going Tigers. Dewey.
Dewey magic. Dewey's doing his magic.
Dewey's do.
They're gonna rename it the Dewey M medal. He's really gonna. That's it from me. See.
See you, George.
That's outdone, child mo.
That was pretty good. Child mo, kid mo.
He's loving his work. He's loving his work. You know he's got his hand over his mouth, pissing himself. He's loving it.
I just had to get a few.
So Dave, Tigers, Brett, Tigers, Al.
Tigers.
Okay, Eels. Dogs.
Sorry, Johnny.
Dogs, Dragons. Welcome back, Monday Night Footy.
Oh, yeah. Gross.
Public holiday. Monday Arvo, 4:00. Dragons for me.
Dragons away at Stadium Australia.
Yeah.
Margin.
Yeah, same here.
Do you want to go margin?
50.
50 versus
4
5.
I think it'll be closer. I think the Bulldogs somehow didn't get flogged by the Storms in the first 60 minutes the other week. So I don't know. I think it'll be. Dragons
and it wasn't it 10-0 against Penrith at halftime the other week as well?
Yeah.
Hey, mate, they're a good.
I still think Dragons have got a good attack at the moment. They've got that many ex-Broncos that Carmichael's probably going to sign with them next year, and it's going to be even their coach is an ex-fucking Broncos reject.
So just on round 14, there are our tips. Sorry, Al. But I just want to also talk. Who's your smoky into the 8? Who's a team that troubles the teams around the 8? I've gone 2.
That's outside of the 8 at the moment.
Yeah, outside or inside, but come September, August, they're troubling teams. I'm going Tigers, and I'm going Dragons. Currently at 8, but I reckon Dragons and the Tigers could trouble. Tigers will finish their historical 9th, but yeah.
I think it's the Dragons.
You're right.
Looking at the ladder, I'm gonna Raiders and Knights, I think on paper, they've just got to sort a few back of house issues out. I mean, start of the year, people were talking Raiders to win the comp. They haven't lost anyone apart from Croker, I think, still injured. But if they can sort the rubbish that's going on and put some performances in up against Brisbane, this week's a good starting board for that.
Yeah,
and Knights, they literally haven't had Ponga and Pierce in the same in the team at the same time. So
doesn't make sense. The Raiders, they were in the grand final 18 months ago. Like, for fuck's sake.
Of the people out of the 8, I think they're the only 2 teams who can trouble. That I think it's a 2, maybe 3 team comp at the moment.
Definitely would have said the Broncos, but
who's your 3, Brett?
The NRL have gone and suspended Katoni Staggs for a couple of weeks. So like they're really trying to stop that ambush. I think you will agree. But
your 3 is Rabbitohs, Brett.
I don't see it unless some massive injuries happen at either team. I don't see how it's possible for the Panthers and Storm not to be the grand final. I don't see the Eels giving a chance. Rabbitohs, maybe on their day they could beat them just because that left edge, and the Roosters are cop too many injuries. So I actually think it's a 2-team comp at the moment if they stay healthy.
Cool. No, pretty sweet. Lots of footy coming up. Wednesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Is there a Thursday game?
Okay.
Nah, it won't be the same day. Day after.
No, it's
Friday,
It's Wednesday,
6 p.m.
Friday.
Yeah. So Wednesday,
Cowboys.
Thursday is late night shopping, and then cool.
You guys doing anything for the Origin? You doing anything special? Or?
Oh, might be going to Brad's.
Got some tomahawks on the barbie for Brett and Sean and myself.
I'm gonna build a snowman.
Gonna build a snowman. Dave, yourself?
Fucking working, man.
Oh, you're not at work. You got big screen, iPad. What do you got?
TV. I think we're getting pizzas, and that's about it.
Just Peter's Origin service allowance. Yeah.
What would happen for you to get called out during that? Like, what number would I have to prank call to say there's a fire for you to be
1-800 defense?
Fuck, I don't know what to say because I don't.
Because you think you'll do it?
Yeah, I know you will.
Help! There's a cat in the tree. We need Dave.
All right, boys. Good pod.
Yeah, I just got a song to play us out on. If you
100%.
agree to that,
yeah, definitely.
So have a good one and go the Maroons tomorrow night.
100%.
Queenslander.
Cheers, boys.
Queenslander.
Hit it, Stocks.
Comes. Got a bit late.
The slow build up.
Yeah, good.
This time tomorrow night.
Statman time.
That's
the
Kevin
Ipswich
Sheedy
song.
The Kevin Sheedy scarf as well. All right, lads. Good pod.